What up, Dokkaners? Apologies for being a little late to the uptick here. I was waiting for the news to drop. I fell asleep because I'm a human being and it was late. And then a couple hours later, I was notified of what happened and I woke up and I'm now recording this video. So if I appear to be a little unusual in my demeanor, or perhaps I stutter or I say complete gibberish, that is because I am running on probably 20% capacity. But unfortunately, the Zarbon Dokkan Festival dreams will have to wait as it's been squashed for now. Sorry, guys. I had been trying to push this misinformation train, and I mean, I don't know if it really worked. I don't know if too many people really bought into it, but whatever. When I found out, this is literally my face. Like, this is literally what I look like when I just looked at the screen and I saw this. So KALE is coming up next for JP players. Now, some of you guys might be really happy. Some of you guys might be a little bit upset. As a Universe Rival Saga fan, I will say I am happy. But as a Universe 6 Saiyan hater, I am not happy. So I'm kind of in the middle here, but you know, in the end, Universe Rival Saga is my favorite category. I have to be on board with this. What could this mean in terms of the Dokkan Festival build itself? Possible EZAs. What does this mean for celebrations moving forward? And where does this place things in the timeline for both Global and JP? Let's start with JP, as this is a JP news break. In terms of where this fits in the timeline for JP players, this is the first celebration after Saiyan Day and the only celebration before Golden Week. So this is going to be the one moment's reprieve for both versions to be on separate schedules. And then after the celebrations part 1 and part 2 are concluded, both versions will then come back into Golden Week. So we're looking at last year's timetable here. This was Majin Vegeta Saiyan Day. Then after that was this right here, the Spring Breeze campaign for JP. And then Soaring Fighting Spirit Golden Week campaign followed that. So here, Raditz was the Dokkan Festival last year. This year it's KALE. Some people are concerned that this unit could repeat the mistakes of the previous celebration, because the last time we had a post Saiyan Day celebration on JP, we got this weirdo right here. A unit that is so infamous now and so heavily memed that it is now the gold standard when it comes to what a unit should or should not be. People will always joke, it's no Raditz. Nothing can stand up to Raditz. Like, that's how bad this unit was on release. Will KALE repeat the mistakes of the previous year? We'll have to wait and find out. But anyway, looking at this celebration, there's a couple of things to take away from this. Number one, it was a Saiyan Saga theme for both part 1 and part 2. So that means that the upcoming part 2 is very likely going to be something relating to KALE, either in the ways of Peppy Gals, Universe Rival Saga, or perhaps Universe 6, or maybe just all three of that combined. A lot of people are thinking LR Kefla would actually be pretty cool, not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest fan of the Universe 6 Saiyans, as I said, but LR Kefla would actually be pretty hype, and I think that Kefla is more than deserving of an LR. So that would actually be a pretty cool one, but we'll have to wait and see. Is this going to be more of a Universe Survival Saga themed celebration, or perhaps more of a Peppy Gal one, or maybe more Universe 6 centric? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to be Universe 6 centric in the sense that, like, they're not even going to mention the other Universe Survival Saga type characters, because based on the background here and based on this quote, this is the do you think I'm a burden on you, or something like that. And then that's when that's like right before she goes berserk. So she's definitely going to be transforming, and this is the stage of the Universe Survival Saga showdown, the Tournament of Power. So I think that this has to have something to do with Universe Survival Saga. They can't possibly ignore that. But I mean, I don't know, because for me, I still am of the theory that Golden Week could potentially be Universe Survival Saga themed. This, depending on how you look at it, kind of helps or hurts that. So let's actually go through precedent, right? Precedent, never the most condemning piece of evidence. If we look at last year or the year prior, it's never set in stone. This is only just cause for speculation. But if we look at how things played out last year, let's just start from the new year, from JP's last year, right? 7-year anniversary. The first Dokkan festival that they had for the New Year's celebration was Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu. So this has nothing to do with Golden Week. Golden Week for this last year was Android Cell Saga, right? So this being Majin Buu Saga, nothing to do with it. 7-year anniversary, nothing to do with it, right? Had nothing to do with the Android Cell Saga whatsoever. Then the Ginyu Dokkan festival that followed had nothing to do with Android Cell Saga. Majin Vegeta, very clearly nothing to do. Then Raditz being Saiyan Saga, nothing to do. So in terms of previous celebrations from that same year having anything to do with Golden Week, last year shows us that that doesn't matter. Now this year, one could argue that perhaps this is just another stepping stone in building up towards a Universe Survival Saga payoff. With all of the different EZAs that we've been seeing throughout the previous celebrations on JP, a lot of people are thinking that this has got to be a sign, right? An Ultra Instinct sign. It's got to be something, right? Like, why are they giving us all of these different EZAs sprinkled throughout all these different celebrations. There's got to be a point to this. They're trying to bolster units to lead up to some sort of massive event. Maybe it's this one, or maybe it's something coming up. Golden Week, worldwide download. We'll have to wait and see. But based on last year, this being Universe Survival Saga themed kind of deconfirms that. But like I said, you can't put much stock in precedent anymore. So I'm just pointing that out there. But I also want to let you guys know that they could do whatever they want and completely change the game. So I still think Universe Survival Saga is very much in play for Golden Week. Let's go over the timing now. So JP is going to be getting this after Sand Day, pre-Golden Week. What does this mean for global players? So global players, our next Dokkan Festival is going to be Yamcha. Yamcha is going to be our celebration that we engage in separately from JP in part 1 and part 2. While JP goes through KALE, we go through Yamcha. While JP goes through LR Kefla or whatever in part 2, global will get an empty LR summon. Then both versions will then converge on Golden Week. KALE will not be showing up during any of these Dokkan festivals, but KALE will be here as the trap banner in between 8-year anniversary and worldwide download celebration. This is the trap banner. Now, I'm calling it a trap banner not because the unit may necessarily be bad. We'll have to wait and see. We only have a teaser right now, so we have no clue. I'm calling it a trap because these are two of the biggest celebrations of the year. And unfortunately for global, this is a very bad time to be spending stones on anything other than the biggest celebrations. 8-year anniversary, worldwide download. You should not be spending money on KALE. Even if KALE is really good, there's going to be a lot better stuff to be gained on these two celebrations surrounding it. That's why this is a trap. It just so happened that last year's trap banner was also infamous for being bad. And now, I mean, I can't believe it's been a full year since Giga has existed. But I mean, all the memes, all the jokes, the running gags, it's never stopped. Raditz' influence has never stopped. Will KALE be doomed to repeat the same mistake of the previous year? We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of, let's take a look at my predictions for the upcoming celebrations and units. So for KALE's Dokkan Festival, I'm guessing it's going to be an AGL unit. Universe Survival Saga, Universe 6 category key plus 3, 170%, plus an additional stats plus 30 for Peppy Gals and Rapid Growth. That way, you are sort of singling out the Universe 6 girls and, you know, the different forms of them. Maybe it could be something else. Maybe they introduce a new category. I was pointed out something very interesting recently that we haven't had too many new Dokkan Festival categories. We've had a few, like Superhero. We had, I can't remember the other ones, but there have only been just a handful of new categories. So perhaps they continue that trend and repeat some older categories, or perhaps they give us something new. I hope they don't. But this is my guess. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the upcoming KALE. What could it be? This is going to age obviously very quickly because we will be finding out the news for KALE probably within the day or two. But still, I want to speculate. It's always fun. Transforms into Berserk after a few turns. That much I feel like is guaranteed. I don't think she's going to transform right away. That's simply a waste of a unit. So I think that she will transform after a couple of turns. A la very similar to the STR Kefla. STR Kefla had a similar situation. Starts off at base, transforms into Kefla Super Saiyan 1 after a couple of turns, and then transforms when 60% or more starting from the next attacking turn into Super Saiyan 2, and then Super Saiyan 2 has an active skill. So I think something similar could happen for KALE. Transforms into Berserk after a couple of turns, perhaps gets some sort of like AoE super attack, aka Broly, right? She is a Broly. Actives into Super Saiyan 2 following that, where she sort of manifests all of that rage into a more calm and, you know, powerful form, Super Saiyan 2. Then there has to be some sort of condition which pays off with an insane effect when in the presence of KALE or Caulifla. That has to happen. Every KALE unit, every Caulifla unit are just like soul linked together. They all gain something by being in the presence of the other. Right here, medium chance of launching a super attack when there's a KALE attacking in the same turn. Or if they're together already, there's some other condition when facing a Universe Survival Saga category enemy. It's either that, Pure Saiyan, or KALE being on the same rotation. So there will be something like that, guaranteed. And then possibly, could there be a category support, either for Universe 6, Universe Survival Saga, maybe both? We'll have to wait and see. Universe Survival Saga is desperate for some support. The category overall is just dead in the water on a lot of the end game content. There needs to be more competitive stuff showing up. So perhaps KALE could be the start of some nice units that can both lead at 200% and also support at a pretty decent rate. So those are some of my thoughts and predictions for what KALE could look like. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any theories. What are some mechanics you want to see on the KALE? Could this have some game-breaking ability that you were maybe hoping for? I don't know. Potential EZAs. Now, there's so many to choose from. If you just look at the Universe Survival Saga, there's just a ton. So it kind of is half dependent on what the theme is going to be. Like, is this going to be more Universe 6 focused? Is it going to be Universe Survival Saga focused? Can't really say for sure, but with that being said, I'm going to assume it's going to be more Universe 6 related. LRKFC, I feel like, is definitely in play for an EZA. In terms of a Dokkan Festival, though, I did put STR Kefla here because if we look at the Ratted celebration last year, 1-for-1, Turles was the Dokkan Festival EZA, right? So if we were to account for one mandatory Dokkan Festival level 1, the only option really is Kefla. There's really nobody else, especially on Universe 6. The Hito already had his Dokkan Festival EZA. We would have to expand outside of Universe 6 to do that, which doesn't seem prudent for this celebration. So I'm going to go ahead and guess STR Kefla. There are obviously other choices, but I will also include LRKFC, which I don't know why I didn't. LRKFC. And I put KFC. If you're wondering why, it's because Kale and Caulifla, K and C sounds like KFC, and I was hungry when I made the nickname. So LRKFC in play. STR Kale Tech Caulifla, I feel like are definite shoo-ins for EZAs. These two units are really, really good. They're tethered to each other in terms of them being in the presence of the other. And I think that this would be a great opportunity to give them EZAs because the other Kale and Cauliflas already have EZAs. The free-to-play STR and Int Kale and Caulifla have their EZAs. The physical Berserk Kale and the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Kale for Caulifla have their EZAs. So there really is no other Kale and Caulifla unit that could be used for an EZA unless they give the World Tournament unit an SSR TUR Awakening and then give it an EZA, which wouldn't happen. It would have to first be a TUR, and then a couple more, years down the road, perhaps these units will receive their EZAs. But in the meantime, not going to happen. So I feel like just by process of elimination, Tech Kale, STR Caulifla, dang it, Tech Caulifla, STR Kale will be getting EZAs. I threw on Bodo Magetta because Universe 6, Winnie the Pooh, I felt bad because nobody cares about them. So I'll throw on Winnie the Pooh and Optimus Prime in there. Maybe even like some of these other weirdos like Int Hit or perhaps STR Frost. Dude, I want this unit deleted. Like, I don't even care about this guy. I don't think that they're going to give Tech Dokkan Festival Kale and Caulifla an EZA. That's too soon. So it's got to be STR Kefla. So those are some of my predictions. Let me know what you think. For the free-to-play EZAs, they could do an easy area for the Universe 6 story characters. These units have not received an SSR yet. So if we actually go take a look at them, like the physical Hito, for example, this guy is one of, I think, 3 or 4 units that only have SSRs. So yeah, this story event right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 units here. 3 of them don't have TURs, 1 does. Perhaps this will be an Extreme Z area opportunity for all of these different units to receive TURs and then EZAs. Like I said, Vados already has one. But also, more importantly, this event right here is one that you should have been doing a lot. I've made videos, well, if you're veteran players anyway. You might have seen some of my videos where I talk about how these Universe 6 category skill orbs will be very useful, not only given when they release, but also moving forward. Whenever we get some sort of new Dokkan Festival Universe 6 unit, perhaps a Dokkan Festival, an actual LR or something like that for Universe 6, you would have a massive reserve of Universe 6 related skill orbs to then otherwise equip onto those units. And if you have something better later on, you can upgrade. But still, this is a nice way to get your hands on some free skill orbs. So hopefully this comes back. Perhaps they even improve the pool a little bit by giving some better category skill orbs. Maybe they could do that. They seem to be doing that a lot these days. So yeah, I have some very high expectations for this upcoming celebration. Now, the part 1, part 2 for JP will happen in sequence, but for global, like I said, it will be different. So Kale's Dokkan Festival will drop here, but the part 2 banner will drop here after the Super 17 Fusion. Like I said, I'm sleepy. So, if this ends up being a really busted LR, this will be the final hurdle between you and 8-year domination. So, I guess global players pray that the LR is bad. I don't know. So that's what we got for now. Speculation over. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on everything that I said so far with the Kale celebration. Do you agree with my assessment of the unit? What potential abilities that the unit could have? What type? Did I say anything that was complete gibberish in this video? Because I got to be honest with you, I don't remember half the things that I said. And I just realized it is over 12, 13. Wow, it's 14 minutes. Yeah. So did I say any nonsense in this video? Let me know when and where so that we can roast me in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let you know when to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to sleep. That's right. That's it. Just go to sleep. Okay. Good night.